You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. I have a new girlfriend, and I want to share her with you because she is absolutely super. And you're going to find out something that you didn't know. I never knew this, but she runs an operation for the Guthrie Hospital in Sayre. And I'd like her to tell you all about it. What is your name now? First time we've met.
Liz Hibbard.
Then we became instant boy and girlfriends.
Absolutely.
And your name is what?
Liz Hibbard.
Liz Hibbard, and you are the caretaker,
I'm the resident manager here at the Sayre House of Hope.
The Sayre House of Hope.
Sayre House of Hope.
Remember this, because this is a place that you can use, your friends and relatives can use when you go to the hospital, and they try to do it for as little money as possible, sometimes for free. But you go and tell everything.
Well, sometimes my unofficial title is the dead mom here. And what we are is we are a hospitality house, which is under the same category as like a Ronald McDonald House, which is what most people are familiar with. And we provide affordable temporary housing for patients and family members of patients that are here in the area receiving medical treatment. So that can be anybody from an outpatient that's receiving chemotherapy, wound care, radiation therapy. Maybe they have to come up for a procedure and their loved one wants to stay with them while they're in the hospital, to the family member of somebody that's been in a car accident or has suddenly become ill, had a heart attack. We help out all those kinds of things. Those are all the different kinds of families that come through here. We do new check-ins up to 7 days a week, 365 days a year. While I try to get stuff done during my office, I'm always available, and we do emergency check-ins up until midnight. And
the rooms are beautiful. I went to look at them. They're really top of the line, beautiful places.
It's important to us that people they get the right atmosphere to be able to relax, to be comfortable. We don't want them, part of the whole purpose is to get away from them being stressed out. So we make sure that they're comfortable, they have everything that they need, extra pillows, extra blankets, and just try to keep it as nice as possible and try to keep a home-like atmosphere as possible.
And that starts with you. You're the real unofficial mom.
Yeah, like I said, my unofficial
title. And you love
title.
what you seem so happy.
Oh,
and you
very
make
much
sure
so.
everything is clean and everybody toes the line and everybody is nice to each other.
Well, they're pretty much good at doing that themselves. Mm-hmm. I think the most last surprise I had was the guy who decided to bake a pizza in the oven on a plastic tray. So one of the things I have to keep in mind is the people that are coming here are very stressed out. They're tired mentally and physically. So I'm working the best I can to help them get through it. So sometimes it means is watching them going, have you drank enough water? Grab granola bar, take some snacks, make sure you're sleeping enough, and that's all part of the job. It's more of actually my life than a job to me. I've really invested in this over the years, having been here since we opened. So my challenge to myself is to make sure that I'm doing the best I can for our families. I'm looking at all the different things that they need, all the different ways they might need that support, and helping them. I try to anticipate it so they're not worried about it. Like when I get a family that's checked in here, one of the things I do is call over to the hospital and make sure they have the extension that goes right to the family's room. So if they need to call them at 1 o'clock in the morning for whatever reason, they can. And it's really to get them directly. Security will actually come pick them up if there's an emergency and they need to get right over to the hospital. Security will come pick them up for them.
This place would be in big trouble without you.
This place would be in big trouble without a lot of things, which is donations.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much primarily run on donations. We got our start from people making donations, like the auxiliary made a major pledge, which allowed us to open our doors and allow us to continue to keep our doors open. We wouldn't be here without them. The employees, the physicians were part of the Guthrie's Giving campaign. They give us a lot of funds. In fact, the physicians are the reasons we have all of this lovely furniture. They're the ones that made the donation that year that supplied all of the couches, the beds, the refrigerator, the microwave. They helped with that to help us make sure that our families were comfortable. The whole idea from this came from the people over the hospital that were seeing people that were sleeping in their cars. They were sleeping in their lobbies. And they wanted to make sure that there was an alternative arrangement for them. They wanted to make sure that there was a safe place that they could relax but still be close to their loved ones. That was very important. And that's how the whole idea of the house started. And it just grew.
It's amazing that people don't think of a hospital doing good things except to help the ill and the sick. But here they're doing something entirely different and really out of the goodness of their hearts and yours.
Well, we're not directly part of the hospital, but we are very much reliant on the fact that the employees keep an eye out there for the families that need us. They will call us. I have a lot of nurses that'll call us and say, do you have availability? Everything from unit clerks to just people who do the admissions work. Just anyone over there can really call and ask us about it, and we're here to help. And their contributions, like during the magnet nurses, they would, during their Christmas in July, they actually collect a whole bunch of non-perishable items for us to stock our cabinets with. Toilet paper, paper towels, toiletries, because sometimes people show up and literally what they're wearing. So we need all those little things.
Where can people call or get information or contact you?
Well, they can go to Guthrie's website under the donors tab.
What's the website?
Guthrie.org, under the donor tab. And there's a couple different needs. Obviously, since we're primarily supported by donations, financial is a big one. But there's other options. If people want to collect items and bring them to us, they certainly can. And we have those kind of lists on there. And if anybody's interested, they can always call me directly to find out what we might be particularly in need of at the moment.
And what's the number?
The number is area code 570-887-6615. And I tell people, if you get my voicemail, just leave me a message. I will call you back. I pretty much monitor for phone messages even when I'm not in the building.
It really is something to write down, because I seldom, if ever, say you should send money to anything. But this is really a good cause and a special cause. And she is an absolute wonderful gem. You've got a gold mine in this lady, whoever you are at Guthrie. What a lovely lady and what a lovely place. And you should come and take advantage of it. The price is unbelievable and the kindness is unbelievable. And I'm not eligible, but gee, I wish I was sometimes. We'll see you here.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Going down. We about to live it up, y'all. Let's go.
It's a big world, and now we're loving this town. It's our turn, so put your hands up. We on the big screen, and everybody's here living out our dreams. Dreams, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Don't be scared, take a chance. Come on, give me a hand. It's time to laugh, time to smile. Now let's get up and dance. Come on, everybody, let's live it up. Let it out if you can't get enough. This right here gonna make you jump, jump, jump. This is home. This is the place. We break it out, sing it loud, scream and shout. This is home. Hey, yeah. This is home.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Like WENY News on Facebook for all your news, weather, and sports updates.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Have you ever heard of Brown Cigar Store in Corning? I pass it all the time. This is an institution. You've got to come here. Whether you smoke or not, it doesn't matter. Buy gifts for your friends because they have the greatest array here that I have seen for miles and miles around. This is not a Brown because there never was a Brown.
Well,
right?
there were 2 Browns.
There were two. Tell us about this, and what's your name, and how did you get to own the place with your brother?
So 1889 was the starting date.
That's before you were born.
Way before I was born. So 128 years ago, and Kamash, he had Kamash's newsstand, and he was a world-renowned acrobat that did the triple somersault, first person ever to do it.
And you carry on the tradition.
You right on.
I'd like to see him do it.
He was also a Steuben County legislator.
Oh.
And then there was Drake's Smoking Parlor, and then there were the 2 Browns separate, but finally came together. And my dad started when he was 14 or 15 here, and when he came out of World War II, he bought the business. So that's how the Smiths got it. So we've had it since like 1946, 47.
How do you keep track of the cigars? I mean, you got every possible brand.
Well, I don't have every possible brand, but every possible brand that'll fit. It's tough. I mean, it's all in our heads. What we carry.
Do they allow you to smoke in the shop here?
We can smoke in the shop. Yep.
The laws have been passed. You can't smoke on sidewalks. Can't smoke in stores. Can't smoke in public buildings.
Right. We own the building, and it's our major business, so we can smoke here.
Gee, I must visit you more often.
And you can use one of our fine leather chairs there.
How about that? Which is your favorite? And what happened now with Cuban cigars being permitted? Can you get Monte Cristos, real Monte Cristos?
Can't get them yet. Congress still hasn't lifted the embargo, so there's still no Cubans available unless you travel to Cuba and bring them back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Congress hasn't acted?
No, not yet.
How much influence the president has?
I don't know. We hear different stories from the companies, but nobody has an answer yet.
When is it going to happen? Nobody has an answer.
Nobody has an answer.
Do you smoke?
I enjoy a cigar on occasion, yeah.
That's a good answer.
My favorite's the Romeo and Juliet right now.
He's one of the nicest people, one of the nicest shop owners, and one of the nicest people in Corning.
Well, thank you.
I don't know where he gets his sense of humor from, but he's very funny.
Oh, he comes from a big family. I have 6 siblings.
Really?
So you have to have a sense of humor.
Do you open 7 days a week here?
7 days a week.
7 days
Yep,
a week.
Close Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving.
Oh. And you're here all the time?
6 days a week I'm here.
When are you not here?
Sundays.
Sundays. I'm looking at all of these things that you have. Do you sell all of this, or do they go bad? Cigars
Oh,
don't-
no, yeah, we
cigars
keep
don't-
everything humidified, yep. The only thing I don't sell is all the antiques.
Which
All the
is up on the-
memorabilia.
On the top shelf.
Yeah, top shelf and on the walls, and
You have a nice job, a fun job.
it is a fun job.
Now, I have to ask this. It's a loaded question. You're here 6 days a week.
Yeah,
You're standing behind this counter. Does your back give out?
yeah.
It
That's
does.
why I have the stool back here. Yeah, because we have pretty long days. I mean, they're not hard days, they're just long days. So
They're fun days because
they are fun days.
you have fun even with the people who sell you cigars.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And we do cigar events, not every month, but at least six a year, you know.
6 a year.
On our anniversary year, we'll
There's
do
that
more.
much business here.
Well, there's special events, like we do a cigar barbecue.
A cigar barbecue.
Cigar barbecue. We do Smoketoberfest in October. We do Cigar de Mayo in May.
You're pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be smart. You got to always be marketing and coming up with something. Men's Night in December is always a good event for us.
Where do you have it here?
Right here in the store.
Really?
Yeah, it gets crowded and
I
smoky.
can imagine. Do you have fans?
Fans?
Fans.
Fans? Oh yeah, I have an exhaust system and some regular fans that
I
we
see
run.
it up here. This is a place to go when you need comfort. I think
Comfort's a good word.
A good cigar after a great meal is very comforting.
It is, and it forces you to relax. A lot of people just are always on the go, and a cigar makes you relax.
I'm looking at all of these and I can't keep track. You have brands I've never heard of. Here.
We have a lot. I don't know how many, but we have a lot.
You don't count them?
Don't count them.
He and I are going in the back room and we're going to have a cigar apiece. Can we have a cigar apiece?
Sure, we can look this. Well, how about if we just have it out here and not in the back room?
I keep thinking I'm in New York City.
Oh no, we're not.
So, good. Ha ha ha. That's all there is going to be because I'm going to have a cigar with my newfound friend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
I love you.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
It's going down. We about to live it up, y'all. Let's go.
It's a big world, and now we're loving this town. It's our turn, so put your hands up. We on the big screen, and everybody's here living out our dreams. Dreams, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Don't be scared, take a chance. Come on, give me a hand. It's time to laugh, time to smile. Now let's get up and dance. Come on, everybody, let's live it up. Let it out if you can't get enough. This right here gonna make you jump, jump, jump. This is home. This is the place. We break it out, we sing it loud, scream and shout. This is home. Hey, yeah. This is home.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
This is something you need to write down because Dr. Robert Fanelli is a very special expert on gastrointestinal surgery, but I have to simplify this, but what he really does is to tell you how to avoid gas. Is that among the expertise things?
No, that won't be it. Well, we're going to talk a lot about heartburn, about reflux disease.
I thought that was gas.
Well, gas is one of the symptoms that people describe, but it's really heartburn, that burning sensation, maybe damage to the teeth or erosion of the esophagus that causes that pain right here behind the breastbone.
I never realized that what was happening someplace else is shown up someplace in the chest or whatever. I'm confused about how do you get some from the teeth to the chest?
Yeah, so first thing, just so everybody knows, is if you're having chest pain, first thing is to make sure your heart's okay. So if this is the first time that something's happening and you haven't had any testing yet, you want to make sure that you get your heart checked out. That's really item number one. But when people get heartburn, when they have gastroesophageal reflux disease, what that means is that they're making a normal amount of stomach acid, but that instead of the valve between the stomach and the esophagus holding that in place in the stomach, it's allowing a substantial amount of that to get up into the esophagus. And that can cause a tremendous burning sensation, horrible symptoms, and it can damage the tissue in the esophagus. That can even predispose to esophageal cancer, cell changes that can lead to cancer eventually. So that's why we take it very seriously.
I never realized that.
Yeah.
Is this prevalent in many places?
It is. About 65% of the population has reflux. Now, we all get heartburn. I'm sure you've had heartburn on occasion. I know I have. And that's normal. But people who have heartburn more than 2 or 3 days per week, or people who have a hard time sleeping at night because they've eaten dinner or they've had something to drink, for example, and then they lie down and they feel like that's just running right back up into their esophagus or into their throat, that's reflux disease, and that's something that should be checked out because that can cause damage down the road.
Of all of the expertise things, whether it's the heart or the lungs or cancer, what in the world made you pick this?
Well, I'm a very mechanically oriented person. I'm not one of those guys who thought I'm going to be a doctor my whole life. I actually wanted to be a mechanic my whole life, and I guess I am. I get to work on the most fascinating machine on the planet. And you know, I really do like the mechanical aspects of it. There's a lot of physics involved in what I do and a lot of mathematics, which are two interests of mine. And we look at formula-based solutions for healthcare needs. So in the case of reflux, we're reconstructing valves. We do that surgically, and we use a lot of mathematics to figure out how long and how tight to make a particular valve for an individual so that it's going to work best for them.
Sounds much more complicated than one would think.
Well, it is complicated when you first start thinking about it, but then after you've been doing it for a long time like I have, 25 years, you have this down, and you winnow this down to a few different approaches.
And you're doing a whole new laboratory now?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. We're launching a heartburn clinic here at Guthrie, and that's going to help people who have swallowing disorders, who have heartburn, who have disorders of the esophagus where the esophagus and the stomach aren't working properly. And we'll be able to offer them every bit of testing that's available at any referral center, anything that's necessary to make the diagnosis. And then we have a team of myself and other physicians who can offer treatment for those things. And sometimes it's going to be medicine-based, Sometimes we're going to use a flexible endoscope in through the mouth without surgery to do a procedure. And sometimes we're going to do a laparoscopic operation, which uses tiny incisions on the abdominal wall to get the job done.
Is this painful?
The condition or the treatment?
Both.
Well, the condition can be a real impact on quality of life. You know, there's been studies that have looked at how bad reflux can impact your quality of life. And those people get the same scores as people with advanced congestive heart failure,
Really?
or kidney failure, or certain severe infections or life-threatening diseases. It really can make you feel quite miserable. And there's no need for that. Medication does a great job for a lot of people to relieve those symptoms or to at least minimize those symptoms. But for people who respond to medication, who are non-smokers, who are willing to lose a little bit of weight to try and get some of their symptoms under control, we can definitely help them with an intervention as well.
What can a person do, as much as they want to see you, to avoid seeing you?
So the things to try first are always talk to your primary care doctor about your symptoms, because like I said at the outset, we want to make sure it's not your heart. We want to make sure it's not something else that could be more important than just heartburn. And usually the first line approach for people who are under 50 years of age is going to be a trial of medication for a month or so to see if that has an impact. Anybody who's 50 years or older should start with an endoscopy. They really should be screened for esophageal cancer or for any other diseases.
What is that?
An upper endoscopy is where we use a camera to look into the swallowing tube and the stomach so that we can get a good look at this digestive system. And
Don't you choke then?
during the procedure?
Yeah.
No, you're sedated for that, so you're quite comfortable. It's just like having a colonoscopy. You'll be given some medication intravenously. You'll be very comfortable during the procedure. And the procedure takes 5 or 6 minutes to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about the after effects?
So after effects, you know, you just shouldn't do anything that could be important or dangerous for 24 hours while the medication wears off, but you're back in business the next day. You know, you can't drive that day because of the medications, but after that, you're fine.
What else do you do to prevent it?
So then the trial of medication, and medication works for a lot of people. About 65% of people will get relief of their reflux symptoms with medication. And the only time that we need to see those folks is if they don't want to stay on the medication, either because they don't have an insurance benefit for prescription meds, or they stop working for them, or they're concerned about long-term effects of medicines. You know, every medicine has some side effects, and in this case, the medications that we use for reflux can interfere with calcium absorption, and we worry about bone health in somebody who's going to be on those for decades and decades.
You know a lot.
Well, about this one topic, I do know a fair amount. So then we might investigate, we might do some different tests to look at how the esophagus functions, how the stomach empties, and we put all of that together and come up with a treatment package for the patient.
Do you do something as a hobby, or do you just do this all the time?
I work a lot, but I really enjoy being in this area because we're avid boaters, and I like photography as well.
Which lake do you boat on?
Cayuga.
Cayuga.
Yeah.
Good lake.
Yeah, we fell in love with Ithaca when one of our girls was in school up there.
Got an interesting mayor there.
Yeah,
In
I don't
Ithaca.
know him. I don't know him personally.
Probably going to be in a cabinet soon. Don't say I said that. This is a very interesting phone. What is the phone number in case people want to come and see you?
Well, my office number is 887-2427, or the main Guthrie number is another way to access the heartburn clinic, or through your primary care doctor. They actually should evaluate the symptoms, and then they can put a referral in directly to the heartburn clinic.
What's the main number?
It's 888-6666.
That's an easy one.
Very easy to remember.
Call them. Worth it. And he really does help a lot of things. Look at me. He's done all of this for me. Not only is this good, but I'm skinny. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You're watching WENY.